That's cool. She's
Well,
fine.
I'm glad to hear it.
Do you need to know something about maybe the functionality of your office? Like you like
It's
it,
lovely.
it's fine, it's good.
I'm happy. Oh, no. I think I've got it down. I know how to open the door, turn on the computer, everything. All right. At the conference meeting today, I'm going to tell the other family lawyers that I can begin taking over some cases to speed up all of the work. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, sounds good.
Perfect. And
Hey guys, good to have you back here. This is SD Munda. Thank you for logging on to my YouTube channel. So a quick review on the last episode on Law of the Hearts. Julia has her own office now, a very lovely piece of art, and she's so happy with it. She likes the place so well, really beautiful, and she likes the place so well. Like the energy in Julia now towards Pablo is so positive, like really positive energy, and I'm sure Pablo is also sensing this and is wondering what has changed in her. Like he even he showed that in one of his expressions in the scene, like, okay, now we have Ivan has a client always looking for a way out of every situation. Like, you know, Ivan, the way he behaves, like since we started this episode, the way he behaves, like he's looking for a shortcut for one of his clients. But I'm sure in this one there would definitely be something, an offshoot of it in the long run. So let's wait for that episode. So Julia told Pablo about Ivera that she won the lottery, and they discussed everything around that. So they're really so happy for her. They discussed friendship, and she's happy. She eventually gave him some actually gave him money when he said, oh, he's never been so lucky with such affair. But that being said, the energy, the atmosphere was really so positive towards Julia. You know, she realizes that Pablo is not married, he's been divorced. So for that reason, in the last episode, she realized that, and she was really so angry and bitter. She was really so angry with herself that she got to that extent. But in this episode, she has a renewed mindset towards Pablo, and for that reason, it's showing in her expression, in her conversation, and in her friendship. And even Pablo is sensing this newness in Julia, and I'm sure he would be wondering, like, okay, where is this new energy coming from? So the next thing is Elias. Elias is really worried that his clients are declining appointment with him. 1, 2, and 3, as told by Kame, has declined appointment with him, and he knows and he thinks that this is an offshoot of the viral video out there. He's really worried about this situation and how this would definitely or may definitely affect his professional life. So the next one is Isabel. Isabel is in the office, and she comes around to have a conversation or discussion with Julia on the next line of action concerning her divorce. Julia tries as much as possible to advise her not to have a divorce here, but she insists that she definitely would have a divorce at all cost. But because there is no consensus, there is no agreement between the two parties, it will never work. These are some of the advice Julia had given to her, and instead she should fight for a separation or something related like that in a way. And of course, but that would also have to be agreement between the two parties before this can be done. But mind you, Elias is very adamant in this situation. He doesn't want to divorce. He believes that in another 6 months, 2 months, 6 months, that Isabel would definitely forgive him. That she's really furious at the moment because of the heat of this. He's been sentenced to 250 months in prison. Cristobal is the man who murdered his wife some time ago in the previous episode. Now he's been sentenced, and then Nick and Maria discuss this situation. They just, well, it's accepted. They talk about it. She breaks into tears, but like Nick would always advise her that she's done her best. She's done everything she can to avenge her friend, and but they hope that he doesn't find his way out of the prison before he completes his term at the prison. So Julia and Pablo talks about George. They invite George to the office and talk about Iveria. Like, they tell him what has transpired between what has happened to Iveria and her. Now she is a millionaire, and they like this this really cracked me up. Like, nah, because she's won money, because she won lottery, you eventually automatically want to be a part of that morning, someone you even refused. When she George was one of the persons she called when she realized she won, but definitely he hung up the call on her, like he doesn't even want to hear from her. It was so, this is what the way he's treated her. It's if any man could treat if men treat women like that, but now you want part of the money. And I'm so happy the way Julia and Pablo gave it back to him, like, no, it's not a part of it. He should just find his way. That she's even very liberal, she's humble, and she's loyal to her giving him part, to her just leave the asset for him to, because she feels it is still her kids and her grandkids that are still part and parcel of the family. Well, I hope she just move on with her life very well and forget about that miserable man who is not worth her shoe. If I were her, like she said, she had wanted to travel, she wanted to do some other things with her life. There are some things she had not done. This is the opportunity for her to do all of those, as God and faith has really blessed her this season. So the next one is Rosa and Ivy. It is time for meeting. Of course, those two mischievous people, let me classify them that way. They're very mischievous people in the office. So now is the time for Enando to discuss client cases and everything ongoing in the office, the cases they've won and what is happening. So sometimes I actually like this scene, like, okay, when they have to harass each other, talk to each other, and also the sense of humor they share most times. But for Rosa and Ivy, they are very mischievous people. Of course, don't forget that in one of the last series, Rosa put a document into the file for Enando. So when Enando actually mentioned it, Alfredo, Pablo, and even Carmen was shocked because she had not seen that. So it became a shocker. But of course, Pablo had owned up to everything. And when he wanted to get more clarification on that, Julian had to speak that, okay, it's her mom, everybody gets to hear the story. And Enando, of course, is not so happy with the situation. He asked Pablo and Alfredo to wait behind, and they discussed with him. He's not happy. They've said, according to him, they've said bad precedent. He's not so happy, but they try as much as possible to let him know the real situation of things and why they had to do that. Obviously, I know that this was going to come into this situation. So he, to some extent, he's not so happy, but definitely I'm sure well, it's not so bad. He's not so happy with them, but still it's not so bad. I hope they eventually all get over that. So the next line of action is Millennial with a persecutor. He is asking her questions on the reason why she posted the video and everything related to that. So Julia decided to talk with Elias about the conclusion about her conversation with Ishabe and the best solution. But Elias is so adamant, like I already mentioned, he's not ready in any way to divorce Isabel. He believes, like I said earlier, that she would forgive him in the long term. And the thing dragged, and he was really so brutal too. Yes, he was very so brutal to Julia that personally, from professional, from official, it got personal. And it's not, Pablo walked into the scene, and it's almost resorted to some real very harsh some really tough words. And let's get back to his office. He's not happy. Yes, he's not happy. And Pablo also accosted him and let him know that wasn't the best way or the best approach to such situation. So he's asked Carmen to buy a bouquet for Julia. Yeah. He's so unhappy. Like, it's been a very terrible and tough day. It's been a very tough day for her. She's so unhappy. It's been a tough day for her. Then Enado gets to meet Pablo and ask him about his relationship with Julia. He wants to know the true state of things, and Pablo, in all sincerity, tells him the situation of things, that he doesn't have a relationship with her. And yes, Enado is wary of Ivan. So Ivan is actually has some bitter taste against Pablo, because like he told Rosa, Pablo is the reason why Enado hadn't made him a partner in the law firm, and is also the reason why he had not appointed or chosen Rosa to be the next family law instead of Julia. So he's so bitter and not happy with Pablo. So I now see the reason why he's doing everything possible to bring that Alfredo and Pablo. But I hope what he has done would definitely not put them into the black records of, yes, into the black books of another for a very long time. Yes, he's forgiving them, but of course he's human, and he's also very wary of Ivan. Yes, he's very wary of Ivan, and in confidence he's spoken with Pablo, and I hope everything would be resolved. And I also think and hope that Pablo and every other person definitely would be very, very, very more careful of all of them in the office, because they can do anything, like the way you're saying it now, they can actually do anything to bring anybody down. So that's about the last episode on Law of the Heart. So please, if there is anything I omitted, kindly let me know in the comment section. So if there are some very highlights for you on the last episode of Law of the Heart, that should be episode 15, kindly let me know in the comment section. All right guys, until I come your way again, I'm Esidimula. Please, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly subscribe. I love you, and be a part of the topical team. Bye.